I think no two situations are exactly the same. I know former President Jimmy Carter, in a book or an article, compared the situation and said that what is happening in Israel and Palestine is equivalent to apartheid. And it made him very unpopular with the Jewish lobby in America. But there are similarities, but there are also differences. Fact is, the origins of apartheid wanted to achieve what the whole world now says is the right thing for Palestine and Israel, namely two different nation states based on ethnicity, independent nation states which can work together. This is what I stood for when I was a young man. So many independent nation states which could work together in a sort of a Southern African community. It didn't work out. It ended in injustice, which was wrong, unexcusable, morally indefensible. Israel and Palestine need to make their peace. And I think they need to take two initiatives. Israel needs to take the initiative to stop extending their settlements and to acknowledge the need for meaningful borders for a future Palestine which can give to the Palestinians a geographical state of which they can be proud. I think the Palestinians need to take an initiative to say, we no longer say Israel does not have the right to exist as a state. We acknowledge their right to exist as a state, and we will honor that acknowledgement if and when Palestine comes independent. If those two initiatives are taken, I think it will prepare the ground for meaningful negotiations. In the case of Israel and Palestine, differently as from what we had in South Africa, I think some foreign guidance and oversight for a negotiation process will be necessary. In the case of South Africa, it was South Africans negotiated. They had support from outside sources, but they weren't monitored. They didn't have oversight. It was a South African initiative. If the Israelis and Palestinians can do this, it would be wonderful, but I don't see that as a practical reality in the immediate future. Again, I want to make the point. No peace can be made unless you talk. Another bit of advice to both sides is that you can't choose to whom you talk. You must talk to the people who have the power. For a long time in South Africa, before 1989, consecutive National Party governments wanted to talk to black leaders, but they chose which black leaders they wanted to talk to. They did not want to talk to the ANC because of its linkage to communism and because of its armed struggle. So they were talking to other black leaders, but those black leaders weren't representative of the majority of all the black South Africans. The ANC was. Likewise, in Israel and Palestine, talks need to take place inclusively, including everybody with meaningful constituencies supporting them.